Okay, hi, this is GPA. I hope I'm audible and visible. Let me just check the comments, if any. If there are any comments, at least I'll come to know. And it will be helpful if some of you can confirm. Okay, I think it is fine. So let's get started with the session. And today we have our 12th session. And in this series, what we are doing, I'm sure all of you are aware of, we are picking up data sets from old CAT papers to see which are the ones which we can do by Jugaad method, by looking at the choices. The idea is that we should be able to save time and we should be able to do the set completely and also save time. So two broad ideas out there. Okay? So let's get down to work. And but before we start, first thing, something for all of you to look at. 8th to 11th August, we'll be having CDC Mock 2. This is all India. Now, the critical thing about this is this will be in a test center in an actual test environment. You will, it's giving you an opportunity to experience CAT before the actual exam. You will get the admit card. You can choose your preferred slot and city, and you will get the results and predicted percentile and your performance analysis. This is not unlimited. There are limited seats available. So please book immediately. If you are a career launcher student already enrolled, you can probably get it for free, or you may have to pay a lesser amount depending upon the program. But for all others who are not enrolled with career launcher, this is an opportunity to take a CAT before CAT, and in the actual test condition, in an actual test environment, into a center which typically is the kind of center you would be going to for this particular exam. Okay. So something that you can look at. Okay. Okay. So let's come to the session, and just to look at the session, what we are covering in this series is looking at the second section, the DILR section, which is a 40-minute section. All three sections are 40-minute sections. There is a second section, data interpretation, logical reasoning. Okay. And last year this had 22 questions, but the earlier exams had 20 odd questions, and there was a variation. And we expect the pattern for CAT 25 to remain the same. We don't expect any change in the pattern. In the next couple of weeks, or maybe most probably next Sunday, we should get the CAT notification, and we should be able to then say what the exact thing is. But my guess is it's likely to be the same pattern. Okay. Okay. Now, something about DILR. Now, one of the things which you need to remember about CAT is that CAT requires high percentile but not high percentage marks. Okay. What do I mean by it? I mean, if you look at each of the CAT papers in the last 5 odd years, you will find if you have got a 50% score, 50% marks in CAT DILR section, you would be anywhere between 97.5 to 99.5 percentile. Okay. Now, please look at the last 5 years CAT papers. Okay. CAT 20 to 24. CAT 2020 had 24 questions, 72 marks. 50% would be 36 marks. You would be above 99 percentile. CAT 21, 22, and 23, all three of them had 20 questions, which is worth 60 marks, 3 marks per question. 50% would be 30 marks. And at 30 marks in 21, you would be somewhere around 97.5 percentile. In CAT 22, you would be above 99. And in CAT 23, you will be almost close to CAT 99.5 percentile. And if you look at CAT 24, the latest paper which was conducted last year, 22 questions worth 66 marks, 50% is 33, you would have been at about 97.5. So the critical thing to remember that if you can do one extra set in this paper, using the Jugaad solution, the Jugaad method that I have been sharing with you, you will end up saving about 5 to 6 minutes in the set, and not only that, you will end up with a higher accuracy. So if you can, what this will do is, you will be able to attempt maybe one or maybe half a set extra, and even half a set extra is 6 marks. Instead of 50%, let's say last year, instead of 33 marks, if you are 39 marks, you are here. So using the Jugaad method, you can always increase your attempt. You can reduce the time per question, and that is what I want you to pick up or learn. Okay. Okay, there seems to be some messages. Let me see if there are some messages. Okay. Tushar says, okay, I think that was an earlier, that seems to be the only message at this point. Okay, so anything with any question you have, please share on the chat. I'll pick it up from there. Okay, चलो आगे चलते हैं. So what is Jugaad? As I've always maintained, it is not a shortcut trick or technique, but it's a problem-solving approach. How to solve problems is what we look at here. And to solve problems, we need to look at all available information. Most of the time, students miss out on critical information which is not directly given, and in those places where students are looking for information, and there are other places also, and hence if you can just pick out all available information, you will usually be able to do more than what you normally do. Secondly, our focus is always on solving the questions. Okay. Unfortunately, many times students get stuck with filling up the table. My job is not to fill up the table. My job is to fill up the table so that I can answer the question. So I have to focus on filling up the table with respect to the question. My job is not to fill up the complete table. उतना ही भरना है, उतना ही काम करना है जिससे कि मुझे I am able to solve the questions given to me. Okay, so that's broadly the structure that we work with. Okay, and as I've said earlier, also I'm repeating, the methodology that we have is DILR, decipher, identify, layout, and resolve. So you first look at the data given to you, and this is decipher. You read, understand that paragraph, and you will be able to understand what this data set is all about. So that is what is decipher, because if you can't understand the data set at all, what's the basic information given, then maybe it's not worth attempting that set, because the basics of the set is beyond your comprehension. So this is more about comprehension of the data. Then this is the second part, the identification part, which is what students lose completely. Most students don't look at the question at all. Your job is to identify the information in the questions. Every paper you will find, almost all sets of CLAT, you will find some information given in the question. Unfortunately, students are so hung up on the data which is given, they ignore the questions completely and look at the question only after they have solve the data, so filled up the table, and then they go and look at the questions. That means you are missing out on critical information in the questions. Okay. Third is the layout part. Okay. What is layout? Tabulation. How you tabulate the data. Then once you tabulate the data, keeping in mind what the questions are asking for. Your job is not to tabulate the complete data. Your job is to tabulate the data in a way that it will be helpful in answering the question. And then obviously you resolve or you answer the question. So there's a basic structure, and this is what we will follow. Okay. Now, I hope all of you have downloaded this set which we are going to do today. If you have not, my suggestion would be, please scan this QR code. If you are not aware about this OpenCAT, please scan this QR code. Go to OpenCAT. It will take you to the GP ka Jugaad tab. There you will find the latest, this particular exercise also uploaded, and the earlier session which I have done also available there. What do they have? They have the PDF of the set that we are doing and the video. Your job is always to solve the PDF, download the PDF, solve the data set yourself. After that, look at the way I have solved. You should not be looking at the solution or my video of solution without solving it yourself, because only after you solve it yourself will you understand the importance of going through what I have done. And for the latest set, which is the one we are doing today, okay, it will also be available. Please download it. Switch off this particular session, close the session for yourself. Don't go through the session, download it, solve it yourself. And then you can come back and look at this particular session that we are conducting today. Okay. So we are looking at this particular set from CLAT 2020, and let's get down to the set immediately. Okay, let's go through the data. The Humanities Department of a college is planning to organize 8 seminars, one for each of the 8 doctoral students, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So there are 8 doctoral students. Each one of them has to give a seminar. 4 of them are from economics, 3 from sociology, and 1 from anthropology department. So 8 students broken up into economics, sociology, and anthropology. Now, does this not mean you'll have to first of all find out here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, kaun kis department ka hai? The questions are likely to ask you about this. So when you're reading the data, you are deciphering, this thing should come to your mind. अच्छा तो मेरे को जो है ये भी पता करना होगा which student is from which department. Okay, so there are 4 from economics, 2 from social, 3 from sociology, 1 from anthropology, and these are the 8 students A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay. Each student is guided by one among PQRST. So the guide or the professors are PQRST. 8 students, 5 guides of professors. Obviously, we'll need to also find out. So there are two things which we are clearly finding, which we should be able to say, अच्छा मेरे को ये तो पता करना है, क्या? The student, who's the guide? For each student, who's the guide? And for each student, which department he or she is from. So the department of the student and guide of the student, we'll have to find. It is very clearly given so far, okay, in this particular data set. 2 students are guided by PRT, while 1 student is guided by each of QNS. Okay. So 2 students guided by PRT, 3 professors guiding 2 students each, that is 6. And 1 student each by QNS, so that is 8. So all 8 students will be between these 5. Each student is guided by a guide belonging to their department. So the guide also belongs to the same department. So if the student is from economics department, he or she will be guided by the economics department faculty only. Each seminar is to be scheduled in one of the 4 consecutive 30-minute slots. Okay. Starting from at 9, 9:30, 10 and 10:30 a.m. 9 a.m., 10, 9:30 a.m., 10 and 10:30 a.m. More than one seminar can be scheduled in a slot. Okay. Provided the guide is free. Only 3 rooms are available. Hence, at most 3 seminars can be conducted in a slot. So, I'm sure you know what we need to do now. We will need to create a table. What kind of table? We will have these 4 slots, 9, 9:30, 10 and 10:30, 4 slots. Okay. And there are 3 rooms available. And we need to find out which of these 8 students, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, in which time slot, in which room are they doing the seminar, and who's their guide. So we need to create for this person. So there will be a student X, let's say A is there, and his guide will be there. So we need to find out for each of the 8 students what time or what slot are they going to do the seminar, who's the guide, and obviously which department. So this is what we will need to do. Okay. Students who are guided by the same guide must be scheduled in consecutive slots. Who are the guides who have got multiple students? It is PRT. PRT have 2 students each. So their students will have consecutive. So let's say P is the one who has 2 students. So P could be this way. Say, or it could be this way. Or it could be in this manner. So both the students of P will have to be back to back, is what it is saying. So the same guide will continue for 1 hour. Okay. Now this is what we have understood, and so we have understood or deciphered that this is the kind of table we need to create. And along with this, we also need to find out which student is guided by which prof. That is the same. Okay. Now, as usual, if you have to start solving it straight away, you'll end up making lots of cases. Okay. And that is never our intention. Our approach, what is our approach? Our approach is we will now identify. We have deciphered the data. We will come to these statements later. But let us now identify the information in the question. Let's look at what the question are telling me. Question 1. Which one of the following statements is true? Okay. Which we can obviously not do anything about it at this point of time. Question 2. Who all are not guiding any economic students? This question could be a Jugaad question for me. Okay. Why? Because it's telling me PQR. They give me the names of three guides who are not guiding economic students. If I can say P is guiding economic student, then all choices which contain P will go out completely. So this is a question which hopefully I should be able to solve with limited amount of information. Third question. Which of the following statements is necessarily true? Look at the questions. What are the questions about? Who's guiding whom? Yeah, 4th one is about scheduling. But look at question number 2. Question number 2 and 3 are by and large about who is guiding whom. It is about the student-faculty correlation. While question 1 is by and large about scheduling. Which slot? Who's getting an seminar in which slot? It is about scheduling. Question 4. If D is scheduled in a slot, that means we will not be able to complete the table, and definitely we will not know in which slot is D scheduled. because it says if D is scheduled in a slot later than Q. That means what this question is telling me कि मुझको जो है when it is D or Q, for both of them I will not know when are they scheduled. Secondly, D is not guided by Q. This also I know that if D is scheduled later than Q, Q is a faculty, D is a student. And if D is scheduled at a time later than Q, that means D and Q are not connected to each other. These are from different departments. Similarly, if you look at question number 5 and 6, let's look at what do they say. If E and Q are both scheduled in same slot. Okay. That means E and Q, E is also not guided by Q. Okay. Because E is a student. If they are scheduled in the same slot, they cannot be together. So after all, okay. So we'll come to this, but what is it? This is again about who's guiding whom. So question number 2, question number 1, and question number 5, all three of them are talking about the guide-student interaction. So question 1, 2, 5 are one kind of question. We are saying who's guiding, not one, sorry, my mistake, sorry. 2, 3, 5. Okay, not one, it's 2, 3, 5. Question 6 is about again scheduling and again starts with if. So question 4, 5, 6 are clearly telling us कि भाई table नहीं complete होगा. चिंता मत करना. You will not know about which slot is D. You will not know which slot is E, which slot is Q, and you will not know, okay, D, E, Q, you will not know which slot they are in. This is what we can clearly make out looking at this particular information. Okay. So, any questions so far? अब नहीं है तो जुगाड़ सॉल्यूशन पे चालू हो जाते हैं. चलो, let's see. This is the kind of table we need. But before that, let me jot down the relevant information. What was the relevant information? Let me just highlight it and then we can start going through it. 4 students from economics, 3 from sociology, 1 from anthropology. Okay. So there are 4 students who are from economics. So eco, there are 4 students. Then sociology, there are 3 students. And anthropology, there's 1 student. Total of 8 students. Right? This is what we have. Second thing, each student is guided by one amongst PQRST. 2 students are guided by each of PRT and 1 student by each of Q and S. So Q and S guide 1 person only. So P, R, and T, 2 students each, and Q and S, 1 student each. Okay. Let me say each. Okay. What else do we have? Each student is guided by a guide belonging to their department. Okay. Again, the time slots are 9, 9:30, 10, and 10:30. That I have already put in the table. अपना time बचाने के लिए. More than 1 seminar can be scheduled in a slot provided the guide is free. Only 3 rooms are available. So 1, 2, 3. That is what I have done. 3 rooms are available. And hence, at most 3 seminars can be scheduled. Students who are guided by the same guide must be scheduled in the consecutive slots. Okay, great. Okay. Now, first thing, again going back to the questions. Question number 2, who all are not guiding any economics students? Okay. Economics students, there are 2 students, 4 students. And economics will be guided. Students of economics will be guided by faculty of economics only. And that means we will need 2 faculty because PRT, each of them has 2 students each. That means these are the 2 out of these 3 would be guiding the economics students. Because if there are 4 economics students, and PRT, each of them are having 2 students each. That means 2 out of PRT will be from economics and 1 will be from sociology. Why? Because there are 3 sociology students. 2 of them will be guided by 1 faculty member and the third will be guided by another faculty member, and anthropology only 1. Now, that means Q and S. This particular student of sociology will be guided either by Q or S. And similarly, the CLAT anthropology student will be guided by S or Q. If the sociology single student is guided by Q, then anthropology will be guided by S. Question 2 में use कर सकते हो? Can you use this in question 2? What is question 2? Who all are not guiding any economics student? Q and S. Q and S will be guiding sociology and anthropology. That means any choice that does not contain QS should be wrong. मेरे को दोनों Q और S चाहिए मेरे आंसर में. Choice 1 is PQR, wrong. Choice 2 is PQS, can be the correct answer. Choice 3 is QRS, can be the correct answer. Choice 4 is PRS, cannot be the right answer because Q is missing. I hope this is clear. We can straight away say because Q and S are handling one student each, and each economic prof will handle 2 students each. So Q and S cannot be guiding any economic students. Secondly, what are the choices? The 2 choices are QS common, and in one choice there is a P, there is a R. What does that mean? Either P or R is from economics. Okay, that what this also means is P or R. One of them is from economics. Okay, and the second thing tells me T is from economics. This implies that T is from economics because remember again, 4 students of economics, 2 faculty members from economics. Okay, the 2 faculty members from economics should be holding 2 students each. Okay. Okay. So this is telling me T is definitely from economics. So let me say T is economics. So okay, let me circle this. T is from economics. Okay, and between P and R, one person will be from economics, the other faculty is from sociology. Okay. Any doubts? Let me just see. No doubts so far. Okay, great. So we have had a good start so far. Now let's start looking at the questions. Statement. Statement 1. Seminar by students from economics are scheduled in each of the 4 slots. Every slot has 1 student of economics. So and remember, there are 4 students of economics, 2 guides. That means these 2 can be economics. These 2 can be economics. Right? Is it possible to have 2 out here and 2 out here? No, because then the 4th slot will be vacant. So if we have 4 students from economics and a economics student is available in each of the 4 slots, then these are economics and economics. Both of them will be economics. So let me say, and which means one of them is obviously going to be T. Which one is T? I don't know. But all 4 slots will be economics. So eco. I'm just not writing it right now. I'm just leaving it as it is. I'm saying 2 students from eco guided by 1 faculty member. The next 2 students of eco guided by the other faculty member. That is here. Okay, statement 1 taken care of. Statement 2. A is the only seminar that is scheduled at 10 a.m. and A is guided by R. A's is the only seminar that is scheduled at 10 a.m. Okay. And A is guided by R. Okay. Okay. Now, if A is the only seminar that is scheduled for 10 a.m., then should it not be that A is from economics department? Right? A has to be from economics department because we have been clearly told that every slot should have at least 1 economics seminar. Seminars by students from economics are, and if at 10 a.m. there's only 1 session, it has to be an economics session. What does that mean? As I said, this effectively means that A and R, A is from economics, A is from economics, and is guided by R. The faculty guiding A is R. Okay. So I'll write down R like this. Okay. So R is the faculty, so A is here. And that means the first 2 slots are by T. The faculty guiding these 2 students is T, and these 2 students is R. Okay. Okay, no doubts. Chalo, let's continue then. Now, iska kya matlab hua? R is guiding economic students. That means question number 2, choice 3 is wrong. The correct answer should be choice 2. The faculty members who are not guiding economic students are R and T. Who are guiding economic students are R and T. That means P is not guiding. So who should be P guiding? Sociology. Right? So P is guiding as 2 sociology students. Between Q and S, one of them is guiding 1 sociology student and the other person is guiding with a single anthropology student. And we know now that R is the faculty in charge for A and one more student of economics, and T is the faculty in charge for the other two economics students. So using question number 2, हमने ये वाला काम तो निपटा दिया है. Okay, so we now know which faculty member except QS which faculty is guiding is from which department, ये पता चल गया. चलो आगे चलते हैं. F is an anthropology student. चलो, very good. Only one anthropology student, F. Okay. Whose seminar is scheduled at 10:30 a.m. So F, anthropology. Who is he guided by? It is either by S or Q. The faculty guiding anthropology student F is S or Q. Chalo, let's look at the next statement. The seminar of a sociology student is scheduled at 9 a.m. That means at 9 a.m. some sociology student would be there. Okay, I don't know which one, but one sociology student is there. It could be guided by P or it could be guided by Q or S. It could be that this combo of one of these two combo wala, or it could be from one of the person who's a single student guided by either Q or S. Okay. B and G are both sociology students whose seminars are scheduled in the same slot. So, B and G are both sociology students. Can they have a session at 9 a.m.? No, because there's only one sociology student and only one slot is vacant. And the question statement 4 clearly said a sociology student. That means only one sociology student is having a seminar at 9 a.m. That means the remaining two sociology students will have to have a session at another time slot. 9:30, yes, possible. 10, not possible because there's only one slot, one seminar at 10 a.m. that is of A. And 10:30, only F is there, economics is there. So 2 rooms are already occupied at 10:30. So not possible out here also. That means B and G are both having a session at 9:30 a.m. The only slot possible is 9:30 when 2 sociology students can be accommodated. Okay. Now, if they are doing it parallelly, they should be handled by different faculty members. Just go back to this. Students who are guided by the same guide must be scheduled in consecutive slots. That means B and G are guided by different faculty members. B and G are not guided by the same faculty. Out of B and G, one of them is guided by P, the other is guided by G. Now, whether this is sociology student is here or here, we don't know. But there's one sociology student out here. Okay. So which sociology student, we'll find out. Let's go further. Okay. B and G are both sociology students whose seminar is in the same slot. Okay. The seminar of an economics student who's guided by T is scheduled in the same slot. The seminar of the economics student guided by T, इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी, ये तो हमने पहले ही जुगाड़ से निकाल लिया था. Whatever is given in the second part of statement 4, whatever is given out here, this we have already found out with the help of the jugaad that we use of checking question number 2. Okay, so we don't need this. Chodo. We already know there's an economics student out here. Okay. Statement 6, P, who's guiding both B and C. So B and C are guided by the same person. That means same faculty member. That means B and C are from the same department. B is from sociology, so C should also be from sociology. Okay, P is guiding both of them, so that means the person who's guiding both these is P. So P is guided by both B and C, right? And the person who's being guided by either Q or S is G. So now we know which individual belongs to which. I'm just erasing this part because not required here. I need space to work. Now, who are these students left? A, B, C, D, we don't know where. E, we don't know where to place. F, G, H. D, E, H are the 3 students left. Obviously, all 3 of them are from economics. But which out of D, E, H is being guided by R or T, we don't know. But we don't now know that D, H, all 3 of them are from economics department only. Okay. Next. A and G are scheduled in 2 consecutive slots. वो तो already कर दिया हमने. A and G. This law. Now look at the beauty of what we have done. Had we not used the jugaad, we would have used 7 and part of statement 5. Statement 5 का second part and 7th statement we would have to use make cases and then get the answer. But because we have used this question number 2 as a jugaad, we don't need to do anything in this regard. Chalo, ठीक है? Anything else we can do? No. We will not worry about the rest of the stuff. Why? Because if you remember the question had clearly told us D कहाँ कब होगा मुझे नहीं मालूम है. E and Q I will not know. E and Q will not know the time slot for them, and D again will not know the time slot. तो इतना हो गया, ठीक है. चलो चलते हैं, क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. Question number 1: which of the following statements is true? 2 seminars were scheduled in the first slot. Yes, one economics and one of sociology. So statement 1 is correct. But just for the sake of it, let's go through the other statements also, so that we just from an understanding perspective, because here I'm looking at learning only. Okay. Statement 2: 3 seminars were scheduled in the last slot. No, in the last slot only 2 seminars were scheduled, 1 and 2. Third statement: only 1 seminar was scheduled in the second slot. No, second slot had 3 seminars. Fourth, 3 seminars are scheduled in the first slot. No, first slot has 2 seminars. So we did not need to do it. And in CLAT, in the examination, I'm sorry. In the examination, if you know that first statement pakka answer hai, तो बेकार में time मत waste करना and try and verifying the other choices. Okay. Question number 3: which of the following statements is necessarily true? What does necessarily true mean? Correct in all possible cases. In all cases, it will be correct. Okay. S is guiding F. S is guiding F. S could be guiding F or could be guiding G. We don't know. So statement 1 or choice 1 is not necessarily true. So statement 1, it may be true, it may not be true. So it cannot be the answer because we are looking at something which is true in all possible cases. H is an economics student. Okay? H is an economics student. Yes, we know that H belongs to economics. D, H are all 3 of them economics students. So this becomes the correct answer. It is correct in all situations. Just for the sake of our understanding, I'll look at the other 2 statements also. Q is guiding G. Q may be guiding G. Not Q is guiding. Q could be guiding G or F. Hence, statement 3 is not true in all possible cases. Statement 4, B scheduled in the first slot. This is false. B scheduled in the second slot. Okay, so while we did not need to check these statements, I've just done that because ठीक है, learning का time है तो देख लेते हैं. Next statement, next question. If D is scheduled in a slot later than Q. D is scheduled in a slot later than Q. Which are the slots available for Q? Q is guiding either F or G. Okay, so F is here and G is here. So let me write Q and S here also. Okay. So question says if D is scheduled in a slot later than Q. If Q is here, D cannot be scheduled later than Q. If D is in the, or rather if Q is in the 10:30 slot, 10:30, if Q is guiding F, then D cannot be scheduled later. That means what this particular question is saying, Q is in the second slot. And the fourth slot, F is being guided by S. Okay. So this particular question is saying G is being guided by Q and F is being guided by S. And when will D be scheduled? D will be scheduled along with, okay, let me change the color of the pen so that there's no confusion. Yeah. D will be scheduled after Q. Q is in second slot, third slot not available at all. Fourth slot is the only one which it can pick up because A and D are from economics department. Okay. Now, which of the following statements are true? If D is here, who are the other 2 people left? E and H. So E and H will be in this slot. Now, whether it will be E at 9 a.m. or E at 9:30 a.m., we don't know. But both E and H are now being guided by T. Okay. Statement 1, E and H are guided by T. Perfectly right. Now, in this particular scenario, E and H are guided by T. Statement 2, G is guided by Q. Yes, G is guided by Q. Perfect. So, as far as this particular question is concerned, both statements 1 and 2. Yeah, both statements 1 and 2 are correct. So fourth question also done. Fifth question, if E and D, I'll erase this part because we are looking at the next question, which is a new situation. Oh, that's F now. Okay. If E and Q are both scheduled in the same slot, then which of the following statement best describe the relationship between DH and T? E and Q are in the same slot. Okay. So where is E? E is the, okay, let me change the color of the pen again. E is the economic student whose place we don't know. So E and Q are in the same slot. That means E could be here or E could be here. E could be at 9:30 a.m. or at 10:30 a.m. slot. Let's look at both the cases. First case, let me put E at 9:30. That means Q will be also at 9:30, guiding G, and F will be guided by S. Right? Now, if E has come here, who are the other two people left for me? D and H. So between D and H, one person will be at 9 a.m. and the other person will be at 10:30 a.m. This becomes my table. Okay. Which are what? Okay. Both D and H are guided by T. No. Okay. Both D and H are not guided by T. One of them is guided by T. So statement 1 is wrong. Neither D nor H is guided by T. No. At least one of them is guided by T. Third statement, at least one of D and H is guided by T. Yes, in this case, this is happening. Statement for exactly one of D and H. Is it at least one or exactly one? We have checked only one case. Remember, E could be either at 9:30 or 10:30. So as per 9:30 a.m. slot, as if E is at 9:30, what are we getting? It is exactly one of D and H. So if D is in 9:30 a.m., sorry, E is in 9:30 a.m. If E is at 9:30 a.m. slot, then it is D or H. Okay, it's not both. It is exactly one of D and H. Now let's look at the other case, which means we look at E not at 9:30 a.m. but at 10:30 a.m. Okay. And E is being guided by Q. Sorry, E and Q are in the same slot. That means Q will be guiding F. And both D and H will be in 9 and 9:30 slot. Between D and H, who's at 9, who's at 9:30, we don't know. And G will be guided by S. Okay. Now, the remaining two statements. What does this tell me? Both D and H are guided by T. If E is at 10:30 a.m., then both will be guided by T. What does that mean? At least one. In one scenario, it is either D or H. In the second scenario, both. So the correct answer should not be exactly one, but at least one of D and H is guided by T. Okay. Let's look at the last question. But before that, let me erase this stuff. Okay. Question 6. If D is scheduled in the slot immediately before Q. D is scheduled in the slot immediately before Q. Q is either here or in 9:30 or in 10:30. Before 9:30 means D is scheduled at 9 a.m. Before 10:30 means D is scheduled at 10, but 10 already A is there. Remember, A and D are both from economics department. That means, as per this question, as per question number 6, D should be scheduled at 9 a.m. Okay. If D is scheduled at 9 a.m., the other two students are E and H. One of them will be at 9:30, one of them will be at 10:30. G is guided by Q and F will be guided by S. Look at the statements. Which of the following is not necessarily true? That means which is true in some cases but not in all. Okay. Okay. So let's look at the choices now. E is guided by R. In one case, E is guided by R. In the other case, no. So this should be the answer. E is guided by R is true in one case, not in the other. So it is not necessarily true. Just to be sure, let's look at the other choice also. F is guided by S. Yes, F is definitely guided by S. So it is necessarily true. Statement 2 is definitely or necessarily true. Question statement 3. D is guided by T. Yes, D is definitely guided by T. So it is true in all situations. G is guided by Q. Yes, correct. So statement 2, 3, 4 are correct in all situations, while statement 1 is correct in one situation and not correct in other. So it is not necessarily true. That completes the set for us. And what was our Jugaad set? Jugaad question, this was the one. So please look at this question again, and this is important to remember. When you have choices like question number 2, you will usually be able to do something about it. And यहाँ पे तो सवाल पढ़ते पढ़ते हमने 2 choice निकाल दी थी. We had clearly said P or R have to be economics, or other Q and S are not economics. Q and S have to be either socio and so. Hence, we eliminated choices. We did not have Q and S, and we were able to straight away say T has to be hence economics. Okay. So this completes the set for us. And let me see if there are any questions from your side. Harsh is saying engineer getting 30, 40. Okay, Harsh, I had tackled this question a couple of days ago in the analysis session of the last CDC. Okay, yeah, revision karo. One of the things which most students do is they prepare a lot, they practice a lot, they don't revise. Only if you revise will you be able to increase your speed. Revision means doing the same stupid thing again and again. If you go back to your 12th class, I'm sure you would have done maths multiple times, the same question types multiple times. Please do that. Okay? So please do that. It is going to help you. Every week, keep one day only for revision. Half a day for revision of important question of quant, question which you are able to solve but you get confused, question which take time, question that give you some Jugaad method, question that give you any other shortcut technique, question where they in some way are important, which clear the concept. So those questions you should please make sure you revise them at least once a week. So half a day for quant revision like this and half a day for DILR revision. Similarly, these Jugaad sets are sets for revision for which you should be revising. Similarly, there are other sets also which you should be revising on a regular basis because they are a bit confusing. You get confused. You are able to do them, but they take you time. So start revising, Harsh, and you will find your speed will go up. It will take you about 3 to 4 weeks, but your speed and accuracy, both of them will go up. Okay. Secondly, very, very important thing again, the race to 99, 2nd and 3rd August. Please register for this. And this is free for all Career Launcher students. There would be some exception, obviously, but by and large, if you're enrolled with Career Launcher, this is free. Here we will talk about Jugaad methods for quant, Jugaad methods for DILR, and Jugaad methods for English, all 3 of them. And when it's come, and what we will be doing it with the help of CLAT 2024 slot 2 paper. So you'll be able to see, as you have seen in this particular DILR set and the earlier DILR set, that every paper we are able to pick up at least one set which has Jugaad solutions. The same thing will show you there also, and we'll show you how easy it is to get a 99 plus percentile in each of the 3 sections. Okay. So please enroll for this one, 2-day session, free for all Career Launcher students. Don't forget to register. Okay. And yes, DILR सीखना चाहते हो और कुछ चाहिए है तो, of course, you can scan to enroll for DILR 1000. This is a program which is being conducted by Gautam Bawa, Gautam Puri, and Ravi Teja. Okay. Okay. And yes, एक छोटा सी चीज फिर भूल गया. In case you need to connect with me, my phone number is 9811555160, and my email ID is gp@careerlauncher.com. So feel free to connect with me in case you have any doubts. And in the chat, please leave your comments. What did you like, did not like? What are the other things you want to cover? And anything else which you think is important from your preparation and you would want me to pick up, please do let me know. Okay, then. That's it from my side. Goodbye. All the best. Good night.